score for tonight's matchup. Hello again, friends, and Happy New Year to you. Ty Linder here along with Tanner Castora. CMU picked to finish last. No Braylon Rayson, no Marcus Keene. No problem so far.
Picked to finish last, Ty, but their 12-2 record says otherwise. And for Kent State, you do not want to start out conference 0-2. Big game here tonight.
Yeah, the Golden Flashes have struggled offensively. More on KSU in a moment. For Central Michigan, big ball game the other night for a young man that has surprisingly been effective when you look at his stature.
Yeah, David DeLeo, 6'7", 215, and also leads the team in rebounding at about 7.5 per game. So you might think he likes to play down low. But in fact, he leads the team in three-point shot attempts at 8.5. A very good spot-up shooter. Your classic stretch four. His role has really increased from a year ago, and he's been flourishing.
Yeah, 22 points for him against OU the other night. They've won 4 straight. The Golden Flashes, they're trending kind of the other way at this point, and it's been because of a disappearing offense. Yet despite all of that, Kevin Szabo's been pretty consistent.
Kevin Szabo has been very good. He's stepped into a starting role the past 2 games with the absence of Mitch Peterson, and he's done so very nicely, averaging about 14 points per game, 2 boards, and that's something he has to continue to do. Kent is desperate for more scoring options, and Szabo has shown he can give you double-figure performances night in and night out, something he's going to have to do again here tonight.
Well, the Golden Flashes and Chippewas, this matchup features the team with the best record so far this year and the team that won the tournament last year. Keys to victory.
For Central Michigan, don't fix what isn't broken. You are #1 in conference play. You really start the season over, but you do not want to start 0-2, and that is why this is a pivotal matchup for Kent State tonight. Must protect their home floor.
Golden Flashes did start off 1-4 a year ago, and there's not a very high expectation to win a lot of road games in the Mid-American Conference anyway. You got to take care of business at home, however. Your officiating crew, the veteran Daryl Smith, Buddy Mayborg, John Campbell, will make the calls along with these 2 teams here tonight. And the Golden Flashes will start on the defense as Central Michigan, the new look Chippewas, we look at their starting 5, including Sean Roundtree, who's averaging 15 points per game. He's got it out front.
Without Rayson and Keene this year, the offense has been more free-flowing.
And I'll tell you one thing, their defense has been unbelievable through 14 games this year. It's a long, long jumper by Williams. It's not there, and Kent State has the rebound. Yeah, a lot was made about the offensive numbers, and deservedly so. The CMU Chippewas have been putting up the last few years, but the reason they've won 12 of 14 this year, what they've done on the defensive end. We'll get a look at it firsthand here tonight. De La Rosa, fronted outside by Meyer. Here comes help from Kaczynski, and the ball kicked out.
Ty, speaking of Central Michigan's defense, they're holding their opponents to 39% shooting from the field, 31% from beyond the arc. That's good for #1 in the MAC in both categories.
Well, last year, Central Michigan finished 345th nationally, allowing 88 points per game. Through 14 games this year, that average is down to 64. That puts them in the top 35. Rob Senderoff's team creating a takeaway.
Talking to Coach Keno Davis before the game, he told me that was an emphasis of the offseason. If we want to improve and reach our goals, we're going to have to start on the defensive end, and so far it's been clear they really have improved.
Look at the 6th-year head man. No score in this one. We are a minute 15 into it. Jalen Avery for the Golden Flashes. Got into rare foul trouble the other evening against Northern Illinois, and that 3 is off. And Central Michigan fans are familiar with that. Their team does not yield the 3-point ball. Nor do the Golden Flashes shoot it at a very high clip. Kent State ranks 12th in the Mid-American Conference with a long ball, shooting just 30%. Roundtree was looking right, but had it slapped out of bounds, driving baseline instead.
A sloppy game here so far, and you would figure that favors Kent. Central Michigan much better offensively. If Kent wants to compete this year in the MAC, they're going to have to do it with grit and determination. Going to have to win ugly a lot of times.
Moved parallel to the baseline by Roundtree Jr. It doesn't fall, and the Golden Flash is coming back. 2 minutes in without our first bucket. That's a blocked 3 and lands right in the hands of Adonis De La Rosa, who converts the first field goal of the ball game.
Adonis De La Rosa needs that, only getting up 3 shots on Tuesday's loss against Northern Illinois. as DeLeo knocks down the jumper. He's been awesome for Central
Well, he
Michigan.
really has.
14.5 per game. You mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, he's 6'7" and leads the team in rebounding, but he is a shooter.
Career high 29 this year against UMKC. 22 the other night against the Ohio Bobcats. His field goal here ties it up 2-2 early on. De La Rosa fires it through Pippen and into the corner for Walker, and that's a three.
It's a welcoming sign for Golden State Kent State fans. Jalen Walker was 1 of 10 from three-point land against Northern Illinois. He's got to get it going from beyond the arc.
Meyer trying to answer, but he cannot. Kevin Szabo's got it to Walker. One more time. Avery near side three. That's short. And a foul is called on Pippen.
It's okay. You can live with that call on Danny Pippen. I've been really impressed with the energy he has brought to every single game. No matter what the score, he's out there hustling down balls, making plays, getting second chance points. That's really become his role on this team.
It's the last game in town in the Mid-American Conference tonight. There was a ball game last night, and all the other games are finals. So these MAC East and West rivals who have met frequently now because of the tournament. There's a whistle and a traveling violation forced by the Golden Flashes, and CMU has committed turnover number 2.
Central seems to be a little panicked on offense early. They love to get up and down, shoot a lot of three-point shots. And their win over Ohio University.
Well, the early three by Walker, as you mentioned, for Kent State fans is a welcome sight. Since he missed those 3 games, Walker, who hits again here, was shooting 28 of 90 for 31%, and that included, Tanner, a 9 for 44 three-point effort, just 20%. But the junior is off to a 2-for-2 start tonight.
Yeah, it's been a little confusing watching Jalen Walker so far as Cecil Williams. Right to the basket, no one in his way, but Walker has really struggled from beyond the arc, and that's probably because his role has been redefined this year. There's no Dean Edwin, no Jimmy Hall to take the load off his back. It's really all on him on the offensive side, and so far he's been struggling.
Kent State with an early lead. I think we were in the 30s before the first media timeout in that tournament game last March. Tonight, 8-4. Szabo harassed down the lane, but the finger roll is good to beat the 30.
Great awareness by Kevin Szabo. Saw the shot clock winding down. Knew he had to get a shot up and got a great look.
McKay, who missed some time with an ankle and came back against the Bobcats, was down on the right block and lost it out of bounds, and then a foul is called. Will go against CMU, and the Golden Flashes create their 3rd turnover. And finally hitting some shots and an early lead as a result. Night 8-4. Szabo harassed down the lane, but the finger roll is good to beat the 30. Early on in the Mack Center, Kent State with a 10-4 lead over Central Michigan. This is meeting number 79 all time The two teams split a pair of overtime games in this building a year ago. And even though Kent State won by 10 on March 6th to open up MAC tournament play, sure seemed like a lot closer than that.
Well, I'll tell you what, David DeLeo had a look at a three
Yes,
right
he did.
before overtime that went in and out. And it's funny how sports work. If that ball falls, that magical run Kent State went on to go to the NCAA tournament. Doesn't happen. The ball rims out. The rest is history. So that was a fantastic game. Actually, two fantastic games last year that were played right here.
Leading scorers in that game are gone, but arguably the most valuable player of that game is on the floor now for Kent State, and that's Jalen Avery. 3 overtime three-pointers against CMU, and Jalen Walker has that look early on tonight that he's got it.
That was one of our keys to the game for Central Michigan. Keep Jalen Walker uncomfortable. They've done anything but that so far. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and that's why Kent's up 9.
Boy, it just goes to show you never know, and that's why you can't play games on paper. Everything we read and looked at said CMU just does not give up the three. Kent State can't hit the three, and what do we know here tonight? Golden Flashes have 3 of them. And a traveling violation is forced.
It's a good play from Danny Pippen, getting out and fronting the defender. And here's Jalen Walker, 1 of 10 a couple nights ago from beyond the arc. Perfect here tonight, 3 for 3. Nice hairdo as well.
I can't help but wonder too, Tanner, with obviously you're nearing the season's midway point of regular season games, and you're still trying, in my opinion, to adjust to life without Jimmy Hall. You just have, I noticed maybe on Tuesday night that Golden Flashes to a man are pressing.
They sure are, and that's expected, like you said, especially now going into conference play. It's really a whole different animal because these teams know each other. And Central Michigan, they've been facing off against Jimmy Hall the last 3 years. They're expecting something different here tonight, and Kent has to figure it out themselves. How are we going to score without a go-to guy in the post? Now they have to work around a guy who plays in the perimeter in Jalen Walker, so the offense is all new to them really this year as far as how they want to play and who they want to play through.
Kind of a jump ball in the backcourt. Matt Beechler is called for the foul. Kent State will get a new shot clock.
And Ty, everyone in this team has a redefined role this year, and a lot of times when you're in new roles, it's going to take you a while to get used to them, and they're being asked to do more than they've ever done in their careers, and you see a little bit of struggling because of that, but seem to be figuring it out here at home tonight.
De La Rosa from Walker.
What's big there for De La Rosa is where he caught the ball. Watching film, he's been catching the ball closer to the three-point line than the block. That time right there on the block, nice turnaround shot over the shoulder. Got to get better position. Did there.
About as crisp as Kent State's offense has looked in a while. Walker with some room. Instead goes out, head of the key for Peterson. That was blocked by Williams.
Williams, that's what he does in the top 10 in the Mid-American Conference in blocks. Adonis De La Rosa, great position. Right there on the block, makes one dribble, a nice quick move. You're not stopping that at 7 feet.
But see, doesn't that kind of all happen, Tanner? Because now Golden Flashes have hit 3 threes.
Exactly.
You have to respect that. Up until then, teams could kind of gamble.
Right, and that shows you that the offense really revolves around Jalen Walker. If he's hitting, this team is a different team on offense.
Kevin McKay, who had started the season 2 for 10 from three-point range, bangs an early one here, and the Golden Flashes turn it over as Central Michigan's defense produces a backcourt violation.
Seems to have caught Flashes off guard. Not expecting a full court trap this early in the game, but Central Michigan using it to their advantage.
Seven minutes into the first half. The Golden Flashes have a 15-7 lead as Roundtree with that elbow and the forearm will be called for an offensive foul.
I'll tell you what, Adonis De La Rosa has that down to an art. If you run into him and he's balanced, he's going to give you a little bit of a flop. There is no way Roundtree at 6 foot 185 is knocking over that man like that. But Adonis De La Rosa, great sell job, gets the call.
I've always found that to be fascinating myself. How on God's green earth do those men who are built like tanks fall so easily sometimes? Here's De La Rosa wheeling into the paint. Got closed off by a good double team. That opens up Walker. Not this time, but De La Rosa's right there.
That was an awesome offensive possession. Got the ball down low to De La Rosa. Double team, kicks it out, couple swing passes. Walker with the wide open look, doesn't fall. Adonis De La Rosa does the rest, and there is Josh Kaczynski. He is a shooter, the senior on this team. Coach Davis told me before the game, he is their leader. He didn't score in their last ball game, but doesn't matter to him, just wants to win.
Mitch Peterson, like Kaczynski, struggling to find their form this year, and both have hit threes. Kaczynski's three-point percentage coming in was down to 33. He's a much better shooter than that, as you saw a moment ago. He gets the ball again. That's NBA range, and good again.
Well, just like last year in the first matchup, Kaczynski was 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, 18 points. Shades of that again here tonight.
And on 2 shots, Tanner, he's already at his season average with 6 points. And here come the points. 20-13. We're in a media zone. And a bad pass by De La Rosa as he get doubled. McKay. And Walker lets him run right down the lane and score.
Basketball 101, have to stop the ball.
Walker must have thought he had backside help, but it wasn't there. Now Jalen has some room, and he blows an easy layup. And for whatever reason this year, the Golden Flash's nemesis among many, but one of them has been those shots 5 feet or closer. So they take long-range shots. Okay.
All right, Penn State fans, it is that time. Do you want a t-shirt? If you do, you need to get up out of your seat and make some noise. It's time for the Penn State University t-shirt time.
Kent State's got a 5-point lead over visiting Central Michigan. These two clubs will play twice in the regular season. Kent State making a visit to Mount Pleasant a little bit later on in January. Last time they met it on this floor, this was the result. An instant classic.
Yeah, pretty even across the board, but you notice what was big in that game was the rebounding. Kent out-rebounded them by 16, and that is something Central Michigan has really improved on this year. They grab 39 boards per game. That's good for 3rd in the MAC, and only give up 33. That's the best in the conference, and that could be expected when your 2 best players are both 5'8" last year. But again, Central Michigan really improved in almost every facet of their game.
Boy, Meyer had a good look on the drive, but he missed. DeLeo couldn't recycle it. Szabo gets bumped. He scores.
Good, strong move by Kevin Szabo. He was determined to get to that basket. One dribble from the perimeter, puts the shoulder into Kaczynski, and there's nothing he can do. Kevin Szabo squares himself up and won.
It was, to be sure, a record-breaking non-conference season for the Central Michigan Chippewas, and I think a lot of folks around the Mid-American Conference remain slightly skeptical just because of the overall competition CMU saw. But they did become the first team in the history of the MAC to win the Great Alaska Shootout. They also set a program record with 11 victories in the non-conference. It's because of outstanding plays like this, Luke Meyer. But really, Tanner, we've talked about it time and time again. It's the defensive turnaround Keno Davis has been preaching that you can really point at.
They've been known for their offense here the last couple years at Central Michigan, but again, it's the defense. It's been equally as good as the offense this year, and that's why they're 12-2. They've got great balance on offense. They've got 3 players in DeLeo Williams and Roundtree who are top 20 scorers in the MAC. So that tells you it's not one guy who's been putting on a show. They've done it collectively. They've been playing very well as a team.
Well, at this point a year ago, they were averaging 91 points per game without Keenan, or with Keenan Racing. But this year, 14 games in, without those two, they're averaging 79, but they've got a better record.
Yeah,
why? Defense.
Right, only giving up 64 points per game. That is first in the Mid-American Conference.
Another forced turnover. They forced the Golden Flashes into 4 of them. On Tuesday night against the Bobcats, they forced the Cats into 17 turnovers, a season-low 50 points. OU had been averaging 80.
Wow.
And they've done that all year long.
Anytime you hold a team 30 points under your average, their average, probably going to equal a W.
That's a carry on Williams.
That's a call you don't see a lot anymore in basketball, the carry.
Ball back to Kent State, which leads by 6 as we have passed the midway point of the opening period.
Central staying in that zone. They know Kent State is not a good three-point shooting team, only shooting 32% on the year. Probably going to stay in that zone for most of this game until Kent can shoot their way out of it.
Kozinski knocks it out of bounds on that baseline pass. 7 to shoot. CMU in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. Had a 7-game winning streak earlier in the year, the longest they've had since somebody by the name of Chris Kamen was playing center. That's knocked out by KSU. They fumble that away and give the ball right back to the Chips.
I think Kamen was a pretty good player, wasn't he, Ty?
That was a squad that lost to Kent State in this building in the regular season in January and then avenged it at the MAC tournament in the championship game. 6-point game, CMU with a basketball. Junior Sean Roundtree Jr. goes to his right. Williams into the corner for DeLeo. That's short. And 9 minutes to go, a 6-point game.
Got to continue to get Adonis De La Rosa involved. Only 3 shots a couple nights ago. Got 3 shots already in this one. He hasn't missed yet.
Avery to his right for an open Zabo 3. Perfect.
Great play by Jalen Avery. Collapsed the defense by driving to the hoop. Leaves open a wide open Kevin Zabo. Knocks it down.
Running layup is missed by Roundtree, and Kent State's able to clear perhaps a break. 4-on-2. Help from Williams, but back into the corner. That 3 misses everything. De La Rosa fighting with Williams, knocked it out of bounds.
For whatever reason, this zone really seems to be helping Kent State. They really seem a lot more comfortable matching up with the zone than man-to-man. Not a great shooting team, but strangely enough, playing much better on offense here tonight. Wouldn't be shocked if Keno Davis went back to man soon here.
Kent State shooting 10 out of 16 early and 5 for 10 from 3-point range. Heck of a move by Matty Smith, and he drives in and puts it in as the officiating crew does not fall for the De La Rosa flop this time.
Matty Smith, not known as a scorer, only averaging a point per game, but he does give you 2 assists. So he likes to get his teammates involved, but does it on his own there.
Well, he missed the first 10 games, but has now appeared in 5 straight. Peterson not able to hit the 3 here. Williams now to Peppers. He'll pull up from the elbow and hits.
Good play by Peppers. He took what the defense gave him. No driving lanes, no problem. Stop and pop. Knocks down the mid-range J.
5-point ball game. Kent State in front. Zabo to the line and down the lane, and he gets it to trickle in on that drive.
Zabo really game to game, his confidence has just been growing and growing. You can tell the way he's thinking now. His mentality has really changed. He's looking to score, and he's done a great job of that the last couple weeks.
Coming upon the 7-minute mark, Kent State's lead is 7. Peppers got Avery to whiz by him, but he missed on the drive. Peterson the rebound. Szabo sheds DeLeo. Right down the middle. Puts it in.
There's Szabo again. He is looking to score, and Central Michigan just lazy on defense, not getting back in transition. Szabo goes coast to coast.
DeLeo shakes Szabo out in return, but can't hit the 3-ball.
DeLeo shoots about 8.5 of those per game, but he's better as a catch and shoot shooter. Doesn't like to shoot off the dribble, and you see there he misses.
De La Rosa doubled and traveled. But Kent State, with just its 6th turnover, has a 9-point lead. Kevin Szabo, the senior, has brought it once again for Kent State.
All right, Penn State fans, making it down here on the floor with my 2 contestants, Jennifer and Michael. Now they are battling it out.
Now to Peppers. He'll pull up from the elbow and hits.
Took with the defense game.
A mid-court look at the Mack Center, one of the oldest buildings in all of Division I college basketball. And a playing surface that's brand new this year. Well, the Golden Flashes have still not quite been able to get it going offensively this year. But tonight, maybe they're climbing out of it.
Yeah, they've been struggling as of late. You see the stats there, but tonight been much more smooth. You see a lot less dribbling, and when they are dribbling with a purpose, drive in, kick out to a teammate, not over dribbling, not forcing the action so far tonight. That zone Central Michigan has been in has really been helping Kent State feel more comfortable, get a lot of more wide open looks, and they've knocked them down.
Luke Meyer can't knock his down, but is able to get his own rebound out to DeLeo. That doesn't fall. He's now 0 for 3, and a third look doesn't fall from close range this time. Kevin Szabo's got it for KSU with a 9-point lead as we're inside of 6 minutes to go in the first. De La Rosa and Meyer, that's a good battle, and give Meyer the nod this time as he forces that hook shot long. Peppers is short, and Ridenour has the rebound. I'll tell you another thing Kent State has done so far, or perhaps better said not done in the first half tonight, is Ridenour trying to hand off to Adonis De La Rosa, but it's stolen by Roundtree. Down the lane he dances, forces it up, swatted, but a goaltend.
Not a smart play by BJ Dooling there. Got to know that ball is coming down. It does show you the hops there. Skying for the block, just a little too late. Roundtree will get credit for the basket.
There have been 7 fouls in this first half, only 2 against Kent State. Now get this, the Golden Flashes have committed at least 21 fouls in each of the past 6 games, and in all 6 of those games have had a player foul out. They've not been able to defend without fouling, Tanner, but tonight, at least for the first 15 minutes, they have.
And fouling like that does a couple things. First of all, it slows down and messes up the pace and flow of the game, and it also messes up your rotation. And the way Coach Rob Senderoff wants to rotate his guys and who he wants to play in certain positions is Adonis De La Rosa cleaning up that off the glass. But you're right, Ted, they have really done a nice job tonight of defending without fouling, and that's big for them.
Keno Davis wanted a travel on that last second chance bucket. Did not get it. Kent State's got a 9-point lead again. 4.5 to go. Spinning was McKay, but he lost the ball.
Again, good defense.
Walker out on McKay will trigger the three. That one barely grazing the iron, and way down court is McKay with a two-hand slam as Ridenauer goes barreling into the Flash's nest.
My goodness, Desmond Ridenauer took a nasty fall there. Hopefully he is okay. Ran into a table.
Yeah, that's that new on-court surface and reception area that they use when there are no students. They collapse the bleachers and bring out about a dozen tables for food, and I think Ridenauer banged his right knee into one of those tables or chairs, but
hopefully it's just
unfortunately,
a stinger.
yeah, the hustle.
Appears to be okay. See, he goes up for the block and takes out a camera and a table while he's at it.
That's the
Scary
replay
fall
I
there.
want to see.
Yeah. Coming right into your living room. But again, Jalen Walker forced that shot up, and a lot of times in basketball, if you force a shot, it's going to lead to an easy opportunity for your opposition. And right there, a long shot leads to a long rebound, and McKay out in transition, an easy dunk.
We check on Ridenauer, but we also check on Nick Romito down there from Teleproductions, making sure he's okay. He committed the cardinal sin. You never let go of the camera. 3:45. Kaczynski, he's too strong. De La Rosa was almost robbed by McKay, who's still all over him. And now a steal, almost again, by Williams. As the Chippewas, very tough in the backcourt. Sends us to a timeout. 3.5 to play in the first half. 7-point Kent State lead. Timeout. Court is McKay with a two-hand slam as Ridenauer goes barreling into the Flash's nest.
My goodness, Desmond Ridenauer took a nasty fall there.
Kent State's got a 7-point lead over Central Michigan in the first half. Take a look at what these two head coaches have done in 6 and 7 years respectively. Rob Senderoff taking his squad to the NCAA tournament a year ago for the first time ever, was on the bench a couple of times prior to his appointment as head coach. Keno Davis has had a very nice career in Mount Pleasant and before that at Providence, Drake. Keno took the Chips to the to the NIT. Here they won the regular season in the Mid-American Conference. Golden Flash is forced to take time before inbounding. 3.5 to go. Thailander Tanner Castorian, our outstanding teleproductions crew, on this Saturday night. Kent State's women's team fell earlier in this doubleheader against Western Michigan. Golden Flashes are right back on the road next Tuesday when they go to Miami. As I mentioned, all the other games in the Mid-American Conference final. Ball State, which had been lauded as perhaps the front runner in the Mid-American Conference, took a 20-point loss at home today to Buffalo, and all of a sudden now Buffalo looks like the real deal.
Shocking. Ball State, they knocked off Notre Dame. Their non-conference schedule looked to be the best team in the MAC, Buffalo. That's something to say about that.
De La Rosa scores and got fouled in the process. Count the bucket.
De La Rosa having his best first half in a while. That gives him 10 points on the night. And again, look where he catches the ball, right on the block. When he catches it that low, he's almost unstoppable. 10 points, 7 boards here in the first half. We've still got 3:25 left to play.
Kent State by 10. Golden Flashes have shot 54% in the first half. And a Kent State foul, just the third by KSU in the first half of play, which is not quite 17 minutes old. Pippen does pick up his second, so he's got 2 out of the 3 and has to take a seat.
Cecil Williams, Chippewa's leading scorer, has been quiet tonight, only 2 points. Comes into this one averaging 15 per game, gives you 7 boards as well. He's shooting 51% from the field on the season, but Ken has really kept him quiet so far tonight.
Coming upon the 3-minute mark, Williams with a drive to the bucket. Golden Flashes defend him as down he goes. Sabo to the line, to Dooling, a rare 3-point opportunity that he hits.
DJ Dooling, only shooting 33% from the field on the year. Hasn't shot many threes, but wouldn't know it in that one. All nothing but net.
6 first half trays for KSU and a 13-point advantage. Kaczynski with his latest attempt, it doesn't go. He had started 2 for 3. Walker got in the air and threw it away to Williams. Now Roundtree fighting down the floor against Avery. Through the paint, lost the ball, and at the other end it's Walker. 2:20. Flashes by a baker's dozen in the first half. Shooting 43% from 3-point range and another turnover.
Trying to force it in the middle there was Walker, and that's how you beat a zone. Maybe pump fake it over the top, give him a bounce pass. Teleporting a lot of these passes so far.
Roundtree created his own shot right there and knocks it down.
This last minute 45 is going to tell you a lot about how the second half will go. Central Michigan down by 11, looking to cut it to double digits, cut it under double digits here before the half. But Jalen Walker determined to not let that happen. Another 3, his 4th of the first half.
And arguably the toughest shot on the court, behind the backboard in that coffin corner. And a 14-point Kent State advantage. Williams left wing. Now DeLeo. Roundtree hit a moment ago. Will drive from the right here. Now it's Kaczynski. And Meyer is open. Yes.
It's a shot Meyer can hit. 6'11", but very comfortable playing outside of the arc. He's nearly a 40% three-point shooter on the year. So that is not a shot you can give him.
Kent State by 11. Avery. Boy, shades of last March now as these two teams get it going from the outside. Roundtree with a nifty crossover, got it to Williams, and he bounces it into the seats on the baseline.
Like you said, Ty, last time these two teams played, Jalen Avery had 24 points and had a couple of those, some big three-point shots. Jalen Avery doing it again here tonight.
Golden Flashes, after forcing that turnover, Central Michigan's 10th, can now hold for the final shot. CMU averages 12 turnovers a ball game, so KSU's defense has been good tonight.
Interesting to see Central Michigan refusing to go away from that zone. Ken has looked fantastic against it for the most part. 44 points, well above their average, but Central Michigan not changing. And again, a wide open De La Rosa. Great find from Jalen Avery.
A one-hand stick, and the Golden Flashes with an exclamation point on a 46-point first half. De La Rosa stomps off into the locker room with his club up by 16. One of the best first halves Kent State has played all year against one of the best defensive teams they have seen all year. Go figure.
Walker, we said Walker. Yep. Okay.
Bucket. That's a block three and lands right in the hand.
Buffalo. Something to say about that. Average, but Central Michigan not changing. And again, a wide open De La Rosa. Great find from Jalen Avery.
A one-hand stick, and the Golden Flashes with an X. What happened on that?
What up?
I said, I'd love to know what happened on that. Double-digit lead for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Want to know why? Well, Jalen Walker got it going from the outside, Tanner. And once that was established, they went back inside.
Sure did. Jalen Walker, 5 of 17 shooting a few nights back. But if you follow Kent State basketball, you know that it doesn't matter if he's missed his last 20 shots. He thinks the next one is going in. 4 of 6 from beyond the arc tonight. And that has opened it up for his teammate Adonis De La Rosa.
Bucket.
Watch here where
That's
he
a
catches
block
most
three.
of these balls
Lands right in the
underneath
hands
or
of
at the hoop. And when he gets it that low, he's unstoppable. 7 foot 260.
Not changing.
Great
Again,
pass
a
there
wide
from
open
Jalen
De La
Avery.
Rosa.
Throws it down right before the half.
One
Bigger
hand
reason why
stick.
Ken is up 16. And
The
Kevin
goal.
K on the flip side had himself a nice game. Came into this one averaging 8 points per game. Got 7 in the first half. An easy bucket there. He's their workhorse. Leads them in offensive rebounding, but he's got a couple buckets in transition. Give him 7 in the first half.
Second half is next. Kent State and Central Michigan coming up your way.
Oh, we're talking about the NFL. I was talking about college basketball.
21 to 3.
Wow. Marcus Mariota.
205 yards and a couple of TDs.
So who do they play now? New England? Gotta be New England.
Is New England number 1 seed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I think actually that game feeds into the Pittsburgh game. Because that other game was Bills and Jags.
Yeah, you're right.
We are not content to stand still, to just watch, to just learn, to just listen. We are here to go on with discovery, with compassion, and with impact. At Kent State University, it's our purpose to help you find yours so that you can capture your calling and own the future.
Kent State up 16 at the end of 20 minutes, and we get set for the second half, and we're glad you're with us on yet another frigid night. I would say in Kent, but it's been cold everywhere. We're underway in the second half. Kent State with that big lead. Jalen Walker, who had the hot hand early on. Adonis De La Rosa exploring his range. It's not able to hit.
Tough shot to hit when you're cold out of the locker room, especially when you're not used to taking those jumpers. Surprised to see Adonis De La Rosa taking a mid-range J. He's doing great down the block and away from it there.
Danny Pippen just picked up his 3rd personal foul in the ball game. Kent State has been whistled 4 times tonight, 3 of them on Danny Pippen. 30 seconds in. Central Michigan's Roundtree trying to cut into that deficit. Cannot, and the ball is out of bounds. Largest deficit CMU has faced in the now 14.5 games this year. 10 turnovers. Did not shoot a single free throw in the first half either, did the Chips.
Going to be interesting to see how they fight back from adversity, especially on the road.
Golden Flashes not able to hit. We're off to a slow offensive start on the second. Meyer swings it to his right, and Kaczynski hits.
Kaczynski has a quick release. I thought he wasn't even set, but my goodness, nothing but net there.
It's the kind of shot Central Michigan is going to need to come from 16 down. Szabo driving baseline right. Got into traffic and missed. Adonis De La Rosa picks up the loose ball and got fouled. I want to mention, Tanner, you've played this game and you know that when that senior level, you get to your senior year, it's almost like the clock starts ticking, doesn't it? You're into January.
Yeah. You look back in the first couple of years and they seem so long, and when you get to that final year as a senior, it goes by fast. And my goodness, we're already in conference play.
Doesn't kind of a flag go up that says, uh-oh, I've only got a certain number of these left?
Exactly, and sometimes you can actually press too hard and overplay, but Kevin Szabo, one of those guys, he's been playing fantastic. Desmond Ridenour, another, one of their glue guys. So far, Ken has not been plagued by that, but DeLeo finally getting one to fall.
Sophomore adds to the 5-0 run now. And a foul is called on a Walker three-point shot. The cardinal sin committed by Cecil Williams.
Kent State got bailed out there. This is a very dangerous first couple minutes. They went to the locker room and came out feeling good about themselves, up 16. A lot of times you can get relaxed. And that seemed to be the case to open this one up in the second half. Quick 5 points from the Chippewas. If Walker can knock these down as he does in the first, that can really calm this team's nerves.
Jalen Walker was fouled shooting a three-pointer on Tuesday night in Illinois.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Made them all. This time, the best he can hope for is a 2 out of 3.
Maybe we didn't see something the refs saw from our angle of that replay, but looked to be pretty clean.
Two minutes into the second half. Kent State lead is 15. Make it 13. Williams is off wide to the left, and De La Rosa ahead to Dooling.
Pass.
He's got some room. That room disappeared as Williams closed in a blink.
Dooling's got to go up strong. Don't get cute with it.
Kaczynski rips the net. He's got 4 trays, and the lead is 10.
He hit 5 a year ago in the first matchup. Already got 4 here tonight. Just a senior being a senior, knows his team needs a spark, and he's providing it.
DeLeo gambled, and it's going to lead to an easy fast break bucket.
The play by B.J. Dooling was in transition, possession to go. Got a little cute with it, didn't go up strong. On this one, makes the right play.
Williams shuffles his way down the lane, but missed, and complains that he was hit. Szabo at the other end, not a kind roll. De La Rosa gets the call.
Adonis De La Rosa seems to have gotten hit in the eye. But again, the big fella running the floor, and you get rewarded most of the time as a big guy. When you run the floor, you chase the ball in transition. He does there. Didn't assume Szabo was going to make that layup, and he didn't. And Adonis De La Rosa, second in the MAC in offensive rebounding at almost 3 per game. Grabs another one there.
Keno Davis was lobbying at the other end. He may have had a legitimate argument on the Williams miss, but at the other, or on the other side of it, Williams, he can't sit on his seat and complain about not getting a call. He's got to get up and hustle back down and let his coach do the arguing for him, as De La Rosa with a rare miss at the line.
That's not something you expect from your seniors. Cecil Williams out of Columbia, Missouri. Like you said, Ty, got to know better. On to the next play. Look what happened. Adonis De La Rosa runs down, gets the offensive board. That's where Williams could have been to grab, but got too caught up with the official.
13-point game, 3 minutes in. Josh Kaczynski, CMU's leading scorer, with a seat. Roundtree. Dueling may have gotten a piece of it. Walker in transition. That spun around and out. McKay feeding Peppers.
That was a quick shot, but a good shot. If you're open, you want Walker taking that.
McKay with a good move, and he adds to his total. Now 9 on his 4th field goal without a miss. Central Michigan 4 of 8 in the second half. Kent State just 1 for 6. 11-point game, Avery. He's off, and a foul on Dueling.
Jalen Avery, maybe a little forced there. Still had 10 seconds left on the shot clock. BJ Dueling. He's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. With Danny Pippen already having 3, he needs to be careful. He needs to play these minutes, and he's done well. Playing physical as usual, but there just a little bit too much.
We go inside of the 16-minute mark. Roundtree shovels it off. Got it right back from McKay. Now McKay down the lane. Williams took an extra step. Central Michigan has committed now 11 turnovers, just the first of the second half. They're within 11.
Jalen Avery, maybe a little forced there. Still had 10 seconds left on the shot clock. BJ Dueling. He's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. With Danny Pippen already having 3, he needs to be careful. He needs to play these minutes, and he's done well. Playing physical as usual, but there just a little bit too much.
We go inside of the 16-minute mark. Roundtree shovels it off. Got it right back from McKay. Now McKay down the lane. Williams took an extra step. Central Michigan has committed now 11 turnovers, just the first of the second half. They're within 11. Central Michigan has shaved 5 points off its halftime deficit and is now within 11. Get a look at what the Chippewas did to the Ohio Bobcats Tuesday night in Mount Pleasant. Complete lockdown.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing really all season long. As I was preparing for this game, taking my notes, quite honestly, I was surprised to see how well defensively they've been playing. First in the MAC or near the top in almost every defensive category. Really a complete 360 from a season ago.
And the Bobcats played at home today and thumped Northern Illinois. 10 to shoot for Kent State, up 11. Baseline jumper, De La Rosa, he's short. Szabo trying to keep it alive, but does not. That come the Central Michigan Chippewas. Opportunity for Kaczynski, short, just maybe out of his range by a hair. That would have made it a single-digit deficit. Backcourt foul on Williams.
So Williams, man, just seems out of it today. I don't know what the deal is. Came into this game as their leading scorer, but tonight just hasn't quite had that focus. 5 turnovers, only two points. And see there, dejected look. It's not a smart foul. Take a seat.
Josh Kaczynski now 4 out of 7. All of his field goals from beyond the arc. 11-point Kent State lead. That will not count. Walker's latest 3 is waved off.
I think they got BJ dueling. Not sure what. Illegal screen. Must have been moving a little bit, and that hurts as Walker knocked it down, but it's not going to count. This one stays at an 11-point ball game.
Damaging Kent State turnover right there. Golden Flashes have committed 11, each side with 11 on the night. 11-point game. McKay trying to change it is short. Dueling has the rebound. Szabo got bumped out front near the line.
What a good play from Kevin Szabo. Just staying aggressive on the offensive end, looking to get to the hole. He sees a defender coming to close him off, kicks it out to Jalen Avery, who had the open 3. The foul was called right before them, but Kevin Szabo really been playing impressive here tonight.
High toss in to Dueling, who is able to make the grab and now hands it right back to Avery. Coming upon the 14-minute mark, and Kevin Szabo is not able to hit. Race for the loose ball. It's Kaczynski winning. Smith got closed off, and McKay will spin down the lane. Fighting it against Dueling. He's not able to hit, and the ball stripped away from Meyer by Szabo, but a foul is called.
That was a tough one there. BJ Dueling was defending, but Danny Pippen comes over for the block, and a lot of times that's going to leave an open player in the opposition. Kevin Szabo not quite quick enough to get in front of him. Went for the steal and might have had it, but the officials called a foul, and Luke Meyer heading to the free throw line, cuts it to 10. Central Michigan never looked panicked in this one. Into the locker room down 16, but since they've come back onto the court, they've really been much more focused and running their offense smoothly.
CMU's first free throw attempts come at the 13:53 mark of the second half. And those 2 good free throws by the veteran Luke Meyer have drawn the Chips to within single digits. A 9-point Kent State lead. Walker forgoes the 3. He's short with the short range jumper, but got his own board in traffic.
Good reset.
So far in the second half, Central Michigan has made a very good adjustment, taking much better care of the ball. Just 1 second half turnover compared to 10 in the first as Avery drives and scores.
Great play by Jalen Avery. Got the mismatch he wanted with DeLeo. Much more quick-footed than the sophomore. Blows by him there, but you see on the defensive side for Central Michigan, they've abandoned that zone. They've gone man-to-man, and it's worked so far.
McKay is open, but he's wide right. DeLeo from the block. Meyer has a shot at it. He's not able to hit. And a Kent State foul on Szabo. The referees in the stands don't like the call.
DeLeo, nice offensive board. Good ball movement by Central Michigan. That's a tough call there. Kevin Zabo battling hard, undersized there. Call doesn't go in his favor, and the crowd displeased.
Cecil Williams through traffic to an open Roundtree. Central Michigan missed again, but another opportunity. DeLeo can't hit, but he's fouled and will shoot two. And now here you go again. If you're a Kent State fan, this is a return to the bad old days of not being able to defend or get the ball out without fouling. Central Michigan will shoot the rest of the way.
When Jalen Walker sees that play in film, he's going to be kicking himself. He was almost running away from the ball, thinking it was going to fall to him. Instead of jumping towards it, DeLeo stepped right in and took it from him. And that's why he's at the line right now. He was more aggressive on that play.
Rare miss. CMU, the MAC's best free throw shooting team. And DeLeo, 88% at the line with that miss. He missed them both, but another rebound. Beechler is open. He strokes the nylon. It's an 8-point game.
That's what the freshman does. He's a shooter. Coach Davis told me he had over 40 offers coming out of high school, including Kent State. Chose the Chippewas, and he's going to be a playmaker as his career moves on.
He had a 5-0 run of his own in the championship game in Alaska, and that changed the game and gave the Chips the title. Personal foul goes against Cecil Williams here. That is his 4th and the team's 6th. Boy, when Kent State doesn't get a defensive rebound, it seems to always pay dearly.
Sure does, and Beechler, you see there, the way that ball went in the rim, pure stroke. I think as the season goes on, Beechler's going to get more and more minutes. Tough to keep a shooter like that on the bench.
Pippen bricks it. Off the side of the backboard, didn't draw iron, and a Kent State foul was going the other way, and Danny Pippen, an ugly looking three-pointer right there.
This game is completely flipped. Uncle Mo on the side of Central Michigan right now. Crowd sensing it, trying to cheer on their flashes. Big minute here in this game. Central Michigan looking to claw right back into this one, only down by 8. They can cut it to 5 in this possession.
Back door, and that's mishandled by Meyer. Kent State on the move. Walker from the elbow. He's short, got his own rebound, and whips it out to Avery. Avery will fire. And it goes in, and the Chippewas bench is furious. Howling for cylinder interference.
That looked like goaltending. They get away with it there, but Kent seems uncomfortable on offense. They're really pushing the pace when they don't need to. Playing a little panic. They didn't do that in the first half. Is a scramble for the ball here. Danny Pippen, again, another energy play, getting on the floor. Mitch Peterson can't get it to drop.
I don't know how McKay missed that layup. Here is Meyer. He missed a point-blank look, but a foul is called.
And that tie is what they call a give-back call. Missed the goaltending one. Central Michigan gets this one.
10-point game, but Kent State getting into foul trouble again. A 10-point Kent State lead, but CMU at the line. One of the best free throw shooting teams. Josh Kaczynski, one of the reasons why CMU has trimmed a 16-point halftime deficit down to 10.
Got one of the quickest releases I've seen so far this year. Beautiful stroke. Can't leave him open. They've done that so far. And when he's gotten any bit of space, he's knocked it down. 4 of 7 tonight. Only a 33% shooter on the season. But with that kind of stroke and fundamentals, I doubt that percentage will keep up throughout this year.
Second on the Central Michigan all-time career three-pointer attempted list. Tied for second on threes made now with 263. An 8-point game as we're not yet to the midway point. And both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Walker through a triple team. Peterson. And now a traveling violation as the Golden Flashes turn it over.
It's funny because that full court press you would think is to get a steal, maybe something of a bad pass, but really what it's doing is getting Kent State sped up. And once you beat the press, you don't have to stay sped up. You can set up your half-court offense, but they're not doing it. Coach Rob Satterhoff has to calm his guys down. Once they beat the press, do what you did in the first half. Run your offense.
This is a big possession for CMU. Down 8 and a steal by the Golden Flashes. Just the third second half turnover by the Chips. It's come with 10.5 to go. 8-point game. Walker with a long three. Fills it up. And that's a huge swing. Central Michigan could have made it a 6-point game. Instead, it's 11.
What won't show up in the stat sheet on that play is the great screen set by Danny Pippen for the Jalen Walker 3. But Meyer cancels that out in the other end. The big fella, 6'11", showing you he's got some range of his own.
Luke Meyer's 3. Makes it an 8-point game again. Are these two headed for another instant classic? Kent State time lead right down the middle from 16 to 8. Golden Flashes staying afloat to a big ball game after a slump for Jalen Walker, the best he's looked Tanner since missing those three non-conference games with the ankle.
And 18 points on Tuesday night, 17 here tonight, but he's done it in a much more efficient way. See that last three, great screen set by Danny Pippen. Give Jalen Walker a good look. Probably going to knock it down. He did there. His fifth screen in the night.
Take advantage of this ball game with Adonis De La Rosa not in foul trouble tonight, shooting 4-12. Golden Flashes Great first half controlling their fouls. It's been a little bit different in the second, but not in terrible shape. De La Rosa touch this time results in a foul. A little bit too deep, but he's still going to the line.
Again, De La Rosa working hard for position. And that's the key to his success. To catch that ball close to the basket. Does again there. Meyer just doesn't have the girth to stick with him. De La Rosa, about 40 pounds heavier. And that's why Central Michigan gonna have to double him when De La Rosa is on the block.
And De La Rosa's missed 2 out of 3 at the line. Now trying to salvage a split. And does, to make it a 9-point game. We've passed the halfway point. Second half, and Kent State leads the ball game by 9 as Peppers works it to his right. Roundtree. 15 to shoot. CMU down 9. Peppers with a good move, but he left another missed layup. Walker threads the needle to an open Avery.
Yes. Great look from Jalen Walker, showing you the unselfishness. Keeps his head up. Jalen Avery left all alone in the corner. The left wing, great cross-court pass right into the pocket of Jalen Avery. Steps right into it in rhythm, knocks it down.
That's got to be demoralizing. A team works a deficit all the way down to 8 and then looks up and sees 12 again. Offensive foul. Golden Flashes, Tanner, have hit 10 threes tonight.
Shooting 43, almost 44% is Jalen Avery. A lot of times you can play great on offense. It's going to lead to good things on the defensive end as well. Knocks down the 3 and then plays tough defense. Gets the ball right back.
CMU turnover number 4 of the second half. Golden Flashes trying to take charge of the game again while the Chips trying to deny the latest 3, but you can't do it. Not with Jalen Walker feeling it like he is tonight.
It's just Central Michigan not understanding the scouting report. Do not leave Jalen Walker alone. I don't care where he is in the court. He will shoot it. Not a hand in sight there, and Walker, too easy.
Back door to Williams, who was able to wait and then flip it up high off the window, and good, and a much-needed bucket.
He's going to be the guy for Central Michigan that needs to step up in these last 8 minutes. Only 4 points. He's their leading scorer. Got to be big time here in the second half on the road if the Chippewas want any shot.
15-9, 6-2 for Williams on Tuesday against OU. We're inside of 8 minutes. Walker, oh, is he feeling it? Walker with 22 points. Back and forth we go as the Chips answer right back.
Talked about it in the opening for Central Michigan. One of the keys, make Walker feel uncomfortable. Well, he got off to a 3-for-3 start in this ball game, and he hasn't looked back since.
Most he's had since an early season game against Southeastern Louisiana. Zabo, tough shot. De La Rosa got fouled. Sends us to a break. Central Michigan made its move, and the Golden Flashes had an answer. And with 7.5 to go, the lead is 13. forth we go as the Chips answer right back.
Talked about it in the opening for Central Michigan. One of the keys, make Walker feel uncomfortable. Well, he got off to a 3-for-3.
Well, it's been a struggle for the Golden Flashes all year long with a three-point field goals. 30% coming into tonight put them 12th in the 12-team Mid-American Conference. But Tanner Castora this evening against the team best defending the three-pointer, it's been a different story.
And that is always what happens in the MAC. Nothing seems to make sense. Jalen Avery knocks down the wing three, and Jalen Walker, he's got 5 of his own. He's only shooting 27% from beyond the arc in this season, but not tonight. 5 of 11. He's been deadly. Like you mentioned, Ty, the Flashes came into this one shooting 30% from 3, 46% tonight, and that's a huge factor why they have a 13-point lead. Never know what you're going to get in this conference.
Adonis De La Rosa continues to miss the front end of his free throws. He's one of only 3 Golden Flashes to appear at the line tonight.
Ty, you want to talk about redefined roles. Last year in that classic in the MAC tournament, Adonis De La Rosa played 1 minute, did not score. Here tonight, 20 points, 11 boards.
Another split at the line for Adonis makes it a 14-point game. Smith got it to DeLeo, back to Smith. We're at the 7-minute mark. Walker gambled but couldn't come up with it. Instead, Peppers barely able to draw iron on the three-pointer, and Avery knocks it out. That will be a new shot clock for CMU and a tough break.
Walker took a gamble there on the steal. If he could have got a finger on that, he would have been off to the races for a dunk. Just missed it. Peppers can't knock down the 3.
CMU has time, but it's got to get going. With this big deficit, Wazinski remains on the bench. Meyer spins and fires, and he's short. Back behind, and it Plinko's back down.
Surprised Meyer didn't take a dribble there to set himself. It's a tough shot, spinning around off a pivot foot right into a 3. I don't care who you are.
Walker harassed, and the steal. DeLeo leaning in from the block, he missed it. Putting it up a second time and no good. A third is a foul. Well, the Chips have had some issues from close range tonight.
DeLeo, a little scuffle here.
Keno Davis is out playing peacemaker.
But DeLeo has really been struggling tonight. Just seems frustrated. Can't get anything to fall. Point blank range still won't go. Averages about 15 points per game. Only got 4 here tonight. Yet to make a 3-point shot, as he usually makes 3 per game. The officials trying to sort out something. Didn't seem to be any.
Well, they blew the whistle, but I don't think there was a technical foul, so they'll probably head to the monitor. Yep.
Some of these technical foul calls in college basketball that you see nowadays really drive me crazy. They're teeing you up just for talking to an opponent. That's part of sports. You grew up playing in the playground. That's part of the game. I have no problem with you talking a little trash to your opponent. That's all in the fun of the game. You cross the line when you throw a punch, anything like that, but as far as just talking, I've got no issue with it.
Maybe we can take another look and follow what happened even after the foul and maybe see. All right, there's Szabo and Smith, but
There's nothing there.
well, you kind of see in the very bottom left-hand corner, I don't know if one was pushed away. That's what Kevin Szabo was contending to his bench, and that's not going to, here you might see right on this angle.
I think what might have happened was something happened before that led to them talking there.
That's the trail end of it, but that would be the angle that you would see if Szabo was pushed. .55 and
Nothing there.
yep. Good
Officials
look
made the right call too.
Yeah. Good look downstairs, fellas. And it'll result in the DeLeo free throws. 6.5 to go. Still a 14-point game. DeLeo, with a rare miss earlier, is able to hit here.
88% free throw shooter. Rare back-to-back misses in the first half. Doesn't even graze the rim here.
But for the most part, the Golden Flashes have done a good job against him. Came in ranked second in the conference in free throw shooting, and Walker gets tripped up in the backcourt.
Central Michigan not going away from that full court press.
Is going to put Central Michigan over the limit, put Kent State into the double bonus. 2 shots the rest of the way. Walker has a shot at flirting with his career high. Season high was 26 against Southeastern Louisiana in November. He's got 22 at the moment, and add another one. Central Michigan might be running out of time.
Walker's played a nice ball game tonight. By my count, he's only forced maybe 2 shots. Besides that, he has really let the game come to him. And when a teammate's been open, he has hit them. Donis De La Rosa, Jalen Avery. He's made plays for others as well.
Kaczynski, the sharpshooter, back in. 4 for 7 tonight. Shares the team high 12 points with Luke Meyer. He's short here, and Dooling clears the rebound.
Good board by Dooling.
Avery looked like he wanted to force. Got it from Szabo, and now faking his Dooling. Down the lane, flips it up, doesn't finish.
It's a good move by B.J. Dooling. A 6'11" guy draped all over him. Used his body to free himself, just couldn't get it to fall.
Steal Avery, fights his way back, scores. And the foul.
Jalen Avery flexing, showing you he's been in the weight room, finishing with contact. Chases down the ball and fends off the defender. Nothing Luke Meyer can do there. Jalen Avery, the leader on this Kent State squad, trying to put them up by 17 here at home in their home opener in MAC play.
The old-fashioned three-point play does indeed give Kent State its largest lead of this night, 17. Roundtree Jr. got closed off on the block. Right back to him from Kaczynski. 5.5 to go in the MAC Center. It's a good move by Roundtree, but he's a little bit too forceful off the glass, and another Dooling rebound.
It's good defense from Kent State. A couple times. Got into the paint, pump fake to Donis De La Rosa, stayed on his feet. There's really nothing they can do with his size. Got to kick it out, and just a good overall possession for the Flashes on defense.
Avery will shoot 2. Some gaudy numbers on that Kent State scoreboard tonight, with Walker boasting 24, Adonis De La Rosa boasting 20. Szabo's got a dozen. Avery now has 11. looking for 12.
Had a pretty quiet 12 as well. 3 assists as well. Another solid game from the junior. No turnovers.
Meyer. Boy, did he need that.
It's just a breakdown in communication. That is not a guy you can leave open. Meyer will hit that wide open 3 every time. Got a good stroke for a 7-footer.
Meyer now has 3 3-point field goals in 6 tries. Chippewa's heartbeat barely with 5:09 to go. Timeout on the floor. Golden Flashes a 15-point lead. Seventy-four to 59. Golden Flashes will be on the road next Tuesday while Central Michigan will head to Ypsilanti to take on the Eagles, who are 0-2. Golden Flashes, as I mentioned, heading to Oxford. Then 2 out of the next 3 at home. Golden Flashes will play Toledo once this year, Western Michigan once, and Ball State will be a two-time opponent on the Kent State schedule.
Mac looks wide open right now. No one yet putting themselves forth as a big-time contender. Central Michigan. They gotta go to Eastern on Tuesday. Deal with some athletes up there in Ypsilanti.
The zone.
That's right.
Zabo is able to get it across. We're at the 5-minute mark and now inside of it. And State's in very good position to snap a 3-game slide and end Central Michigan's 4-game winning streak. Peterson cannot hit after knocking down a 3 earlier. DeLeo. It's been a tough night for him. 0 for 4 from three-point range.
He's not as comfortable shooting off the dribble. Short rims it there, and another foul by Central Michigan. You gotta stop with those silly tacky fouls. Once a Donis De La Rosa gets the ball, lay off him. You don't want to send him to the line, shooting over 80%. I'm gonna stripe this season. Not what you want if you're a Chippewa fan.
Central Michigan came in with the third best RPI in the Mid-American Conference at 92. Ranked 22nd in the early January edition of the mid-major top 25. But hey, everybody has an off night. When you play 30 games in a year, some nights you're just not going to have it.
Yeah, and it's tough to win on the road in the MAC. It really is. I'm going to start in this one. Central Michigan didn't quite have the focus that they've had in their previous 14 games. Kaczynski can't hit him. Evan Zabo.
It's a breakaway.
Position.
And he's fouled. And Kaczynski almost going into the courtside seats.
Kent State has been living at the line the past couple minutes. Zabo all right into his hands. It's a little caught in the elbow there. Finish. And the double bonus the rest of the way. That was a shooting foul, but Central Michigan cannot keep fouling at this rate. They'll give themselves a chance to come back.
Kent State, on the other hand, looks as if it has a chance to end a string, having a player foul out in six consecutive contests. Zabo takes a split. Kent State has only been whistled 12 times tonight from Michigan. 20. Kaczynski's been off for the last three shots. In a comeback mode. Here's Avery across. Walker slowing the pace. 4 minutes.
No need to rush it. Use every bit of those 30 seconds you get.
Zabo right baseline, drives and scores.
Zabo, third straight game. He has really been good.
And the Kent State lead is 20. Corey Redmond skips it right through Peterson. Diving was Zabo, but CMU retains possession. And DeLeo finally hits his first three.
DeLeo able to set his feet there, and he's deadly when he gets to do that.
Walker will drive and dump it to De La Rosa, who continues his sensational Saturday night.
Great play by Jalen Walker.
Adonis De La Rosa with a career-high 24. Inside of 3 minutes left, and Kent State piling it on.
They took Central Michigan's best punch. A few minutes into the second half, Central Michigan was within 8. Kent responded, and since that point, the lead has only been growing for Kent.
Shot clock runs out on Kent State, waving off what would have been Jalen Walker's 7th three-pointer. But Adonis De La Rosa's second 20-point game of this season has Kent State on its way. Zabo, but CMU retains 5 and dump it to De La Rosa, who continues his sensational Saturday night.
Great play by Jalen Walker.
I know right now it's Kent State with a 19-point lead. Golden Flashes have gotten a big ball game with Adonis De La Rosa, and in 2 of the last 3 Kent State games, the 7-footer has been phenomenal.
Probably his best game in a Kent State jersey, 24 and 13 tonight. Got a lot of good looks right around the rim. He's knocked them down. Got a lot of nice feeds from his teammates as well.
2:20. DeLeo calling for it. Beachler right back to him. Those two playing pitch and catch, and it's Beachler who hits his second.
He's going to be a talent in this league. Great shot, good size at about 6'4". Going to be a problem in the years to come.
Steal by him here. Back to McKay. Another miss, close range, but he gets a second attempt, and that's 5 in a row to cut the deficit down to 14 with 1:45 left. And Smith commits the foul. No, we got a timeout before that foul was called by Kent State.
Flashes have to be careful here. 1:45 left, 14-point lead. Looks safe, but you miss a free throw, Central Michigan comes down and hits a 3. All bets are off.
You're looking at that Kent State huddle. And as my partner Tanner just said, it's not like you're out of the woods yet.
Coach Rob Senderoff drawing up something to beat this pressure here. Probably upset with himself. He called the timeout as they were heading to the free throw line. As we take a look at the MAC standings here. Central Michigan tied with a slew of teams there at the top.
Yeah, that's not quite up to date, including the games that were played on Friday night. So give the Zips a second loss and Toledo its first win. But this was the last game to be played in round 2. Everybody primarily playing on Tuesdays and Saturdays with the opportunity to get a Friday night flex. Here's a baseball pass to Walker, and he's fouled at the back end.
Wow, that was a heck of a pass from Jalen Avery. Aaron Rodgers-like down the court. Jalen Walker, beautiful pass, led him right into the breadbasket. And Matty Smith initially caught the ball, but on the follow-through, got Jalen Walker on the shoulder.
Kent State has never trailed in this game. It was at one point 2-2. So to say Kent State's trying to go wire to wire is a little bit inaccurate. Nonetheless, Walker hits this, which he does. He's 4 points shy of a career high, or tying it at least. Now he's got a steal. We'll take some time off the clock. Walker torched the Zips in the championship game last year for 30 and earned MAC tournament MVP honors. He's got 26 tonight. Szabo got fouled on his drive to the bucket.
Kevin Szabo put him in the spin cycle. Probably wishing he could have completed that play, would have had to put that one on the career highlight reel. But in between two defenders, beautiful move. Physical, going to the cup, gets rewarded with 2 free throws.
Golden Flashes came into this game scuffling offensively, but tonight it's been a vastly different story. More than 10 points above their season averages in terms of point output, with 84 so far. Szabo adds. He's a point away from matching a career high. Smith with a good drive to the bucket, but as they've done a lot tonight, CMU not finishing on the close ones.
They've missed a lot of easy bunnies. Those are going to add up.
And a Kent State timeout. Danny Pippen back into this game. Golden Flashes are going to break a 6-game streak that has seen them lose a player to 5 fouls. They're only going to be called for 12 in this game after not committing any fewer than 21 over the last 6 contests. Now the question is, for Rob Senderoff at least, can you do it in back-to-back games?
A lot of positives to take away from this one here tonight. Something they're going to have to improve on, though, is the turnovers. 15. But they also did have 15 assists, so they were unselfish tonight. We talked about that. They had to do that, get everyone involved, hit the open player. Jalen Walker had been forcing the action a little bit in the last couple. Didn't do that here tonight, and the offense was much more free-flowing because of it.
Shot clock to 5. Avery is off. And finally, Redmond gets to Beechler. Half a minute to go. Okay, substitution timeout being taken by Keno Davis right here. Well, no, I just think it's Glenn Mayborg stopping the game to allow the substitution. Each team has a timeout left, but rather than charge them for one, they'll stop it and get the subs in. Benches are emptied. The guy we haven't seen all night for Kent State, Akian Frederick, comes in. Walker's night will end with 26. Ties a season high with those 26. And the Golden Flashes junior back to form this evening. And dump it to De La Rosa, who continues his sensational Saturday night. Austin Irvin can't hit.
Good play by Jalen Walker.
McCarty can. And that should be the final. With 10 seconds to go, the Golden Flashes and Chippewas are both going to end up at 1-1 after 2 games in Mid-American Conference play. Chippewas' winning streak is over. Kent State's losing streak is over, and the Golden Flashes and Chippewas both at 1-1.
Something Kent desperately needed, losing their last 5 of 6 games. They led by 16 at the break. They win this one by 16. They did it wire